really is.
The pickle in chat is asking why there was an outage in Utah. Did you want to tell your story, Jordan?
Oh, yeah.
The internet basically went out.
Yeah.
And it was Google's fault,
It
I
was
understand?
Google's fault. Yeah, do you know what they did?
Huh.
So basically they sent out like bad data, right? And they routed...
They sent out bad data? Wait,
essentially, right?
There's
it's more-
opposing data?
Yeah, like there's good
There's
and the light
positive
side.
charge?
Chlorians. Basically, but the big
He's got
thing
the
was...
upside, I got the downside. There's two sides to every data.
Basically, what had happened is everybody that they were peered with in Utah, in our data center over here, essentially, in layman's terms, right, they sent out bad data, and then they also rerouted all traffic to everybody that they were peered with back to their routers.
Wait, what? Hold on. So there was an internet outage in Utah. I'm trying to follow you.
Yes.
And Google...
It was Google's
sent
fault.
bad data to their own servers and then made it... oh crap, bring that data back.
Well, no, in layman's terms, traffic, I don't know what happened, but traffic like rerouted to their servers to everybody they were peered with.
Okay.
So if you weren't peered with them, you were okay, right? But to everybody they were peered with, which, I mean, Google's big, so companies like...
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, so, I mean, my company was peered with them, so was Comcast, essentially. Anyway, so I don't know exactly how it happened because I was off work, right? It wasn't my problem to deal with. But anyway, so the traffic was rerouted back to their servers, and how the internet works, if the server or the router doesn't recognize what you are, it says, hey, I don't know what you are, and it just drops it
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
It drops the packet, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's internet just broke because it was all
dropped.
being rerouted to Google's routers, and they would just drop them.
Mine went down.
Yours was down for an hour, and it's an easy fix from an ISP perspective because you identify what it is, which they did pretty quickly. All of them did. And you go, okay, unpeer with them, right? And we unpeered, and then everybody went back to normal. But it took out a ton of things in Utah. And what's hilarious is that meeting this morning with that engineer, someone was in trouble because it was a big mistake.
How do you say... I didn't even know bad data existed.
Well,
that's crazy.
No, I'm probably wording it wrong.
No,
right?
you're lucky.
I see your data's as big as mine.
Yeah, yeah. Basically,
You don't want to know about bad data.
That's
Mark.
that's
If you're scared of bears, this will give you
Yes,
nightmares.
give me nightmares. Yeah.
Bad
No, so
data.
I went into work this morning and I said, "Hey, what happened last night with the outage? I just heard it was Google's fault, right?" And they just explained it real quick. They're like, "Oh, Google rerouted traffic to their own routers and then it dropped it because it didn't recognize the traffic, right?" So something happened. So I don't know the full. And then I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I actually got to go to work now. Let's talk about this later." That's hilarious, And then they were like, "Yeah, that engineer's getting fired."
Oh,
yeah,
man.
we all laughed. Yeah, then we're like, "Oh, maybe we shouldn't laugh at that guy."
That's like when I was in math and I learned about imaginary numbers or
Imaginary numbers.
the numbers that don't exist.
Bad data was a bad.
Who knew?
Bad
Imaginary
data.
math.
Yeah.
Bad data was a bad.
There's
term.
imaginary data now.
Yeah, no. Bad data was a bad term.
No, I like it. I'm now forever going to think that there's bad data out there.
I probably shouldn't have said it like that, but in layman's terms, they rerouted traffic to their own routers, and that's what it kept dropping everything.
What's funny is as you're talking about that, my screen went black here.
They're probably doing it again.
They're sending bad data.
Bad data.
What?
Quick, throw your laptop away.
What is happening? Oh,
No, but it was funny because it was just here in Utah at the. It was just hilarious because I mean, everybody's thinking the same thing. Like, oh man, who's that guy's in trouble. But what's funny is
the guy that sent the bad data.
What's funny, what makes me laugh is like it was Google's fault, and we totally were able to tell people that. Hey, why did my internet go out last night? Talk to Google. It was literally Google's fault. It was awesome. Like you're never
Good
really able
scapegoat,
to
'cause
blame people.
You can't call them.
Yeah. No, that's actually
Nobody
no.
can-
Do you know what the beauty of Netflix and Google and those companies are? No phone customer service. It's
I know.
genius.
I tried to get a hold of them.
Yeah,
was
I know
really pissed.
it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
real cool.
Yeah.
You can't
Great.
remove.
I really love them.
No, it's not a good thing, Jordan.
No.
It's
When
not a
you're,
good thing.
I mean, imagine that board meeting. Like, well, what do we do about customer service, guys?
no, let's just not have
Why
it.
do we just not have it?
It's the
I've tried to
21st
get a hold of
century.
them.
We know our customer service is Twitter.
My email
I know, it's
comes
so
up
hard.
as Haymaker. It doesn't, so like I can't change it. And I've tried to fix it.
As
Your
someone
gamer tag.
yeah, it's my gamer
No,
tag.
as someone
And
who like has worked the customer phone lines as a job for a long time, like I see the beauty behind the Netflix decision. Like,
So
I get it.
I've had clients that have been what do they call it? Review trashed, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're opposing,
Yeah, come on and just give you bad reviews.
Yeah, yeah.
give you bad reviews.
Yelp.
You can't fight that with Google, and Google has a whole, they have a whole review system.
Yeah.
Their system is we'll just get people to do more reviews to kind of bury those, which is a stupid.
They finally added a response so you could respond, and then it'll say
review bombing. Thank you. That's
it'll say now, but the problem is it's all on the onus is on you to respond. So you can respond now, and it'll say like on the review, like this review has been disputed, or read the response, and then it shows it like this is why this happened.
I think that's stupid. You should be able to fight a review bombing.
Yeah. But in that board meeting, the same question was brought up. What do we do about customer service? Why don't we just F everybody?
Yeah. I mean, we're the ones creating bad data, right?
No, but seriously, the greatest part about that
send more bad data out there.
Is when I
send more bad data.
When I would work customer service on the phone line at the internet company that I'm at, like people blame internet for everything. Like your toilet's clogged, they call the internet company and blame them. Like we get blamed. The internet companies get blamed for a lot of stuff, right? And it's just because like.
Well, I mean when I'm on the can and I don't have internet on my phone, I'm calling my ISP.
It's not people like you because like maybe just let's reboot my router. It's been you go through it's people that know nothing about how it works, and I understand that there's things I have no idea how it works, but then they just call in and get pissed at you, right? And you're like, no, ma'am, you actually the power button's only there. You got to plug it in, right? You know how many phone calls I've had where I'm like, did you plug it in? Oh no! How did I get on? And then they get mad. One person got mad at me because it was unplugged, and they were blaming me that I unplugged it. I was like, no, I didn't unplug your router. Anyway, but what was great about today is when people called in, no, that was Google's fault. No, we didn't do anything. Yeah, it was Google's. I know I should.
Why don't you just say that?
Yeah. Go leave a review on Google.
It was unplugged. Yeah.
Or
Google,
be like,
man.
Yeah, you know what?
Google did
unplugged it.
Disney. I'm just saying. Disney's involved.
Maybe I'll throw that into the mix.
Disney's involved and Google. So you're effed. Next caller.
Yeah. It was really because I had to help with customer service today because we had an increase in calls. Hey, my internet went out last night. And you would think, well, is it up now? What are you worried about last night? But anyway, sorry. I can't say that, right? I'm not allowed to say that. But I can say, oh, yeah, it was Google's fault. Also, have you heard of Disney? Yeah, then I'll go to that. So it was great. I blamed Google all day today.
That is funny.
It was fantastic.
Well, Well, everyone, that does us for the day. Thank you for joining us on another fantastic podcast.